Hello guys, so on the previous video we created our super user. I also showed you how to configure Django Jasmine, and on this super user, as you can see, what we configured is to enable the user to have an ability to log into the super admin using a username and a password. But I want us to change this. Instead of a user logging in using a username, I want us to enable the user to log in using an email. The reason for this is because like this site can have multiple admins who are managing it, and it would be easier if a user logged in using an email rather than a username. I find it just easier, so that is what we are going to configure. So to do this, we are going to create another app. I'm going to call this app user auths. In this user auths, we are going to manage all the logins. Also in future, when we are registering users and managing the login process of those users, we are going to use this user auths. And then we are going to take advantage of a class called abstract user to enable this to enable this to come into reality. So let's get started. So to start with, like I said, we are going to create, I'm going to create another app, and I'm going to call this app. Let me make sure that I'm on the directory. I'm going to create, I think, yeah, I'm going to create an app called user auth. So to do this, I'm just going to say Python manage.py start app, then user auth. I'm going to call it user auth. Enter. As you can see, our user auth app has been created. This one, user auth. You see it has the same files as the previous app we created, Schuster. So the next thing we are going to do is add our app to our settings.py so that this project can recognize this app. So the only thing I'm going to do is to navigate to our installed apps and add our app. So installed apps, here on custom apps, I'm just gonna add user auth like that. Then I'm gonna navigate to my user auth app and then go to the models and create the model I want us to create. So here, what I want to do is I'm gonna import abstract user. So it's from Django.contrib, Django.contrib dot Django.contrib. I think it's .auth, sorry, .auth, then .models. I don't know why they aim to make it so long. .models, then we import abstract. It's supposed to be abstract user. Remember, it's abstract user, not abstract base user. Abstract user. Then I'm gonna create our first model. I'm gonna say class. Then this model, I'm gonna call it user. Like that. And then I'm gonna use the abstract user. So on this model, what do I want us to show when the user is logging in? What are those fields? Some of those fields are email. So it's email, in short, it's email, then there's username. Those are the two main fields. And then we can add an extra field. Let's say we also want to register the bio of this user on this app of ours, because one user can be an admin and another user can be maybe a project manager or like a system administrator, and we kind of want to differentiate the two. So I can just even add another field called bio, no problem with it. So on email, I'm gonna say, so all I'm gonna say it's models dot, I'm gonna use email field, and then this email has to be unique. So we say unique, we set it to true. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like that. Then username, we're just gonna say models dot, this is a cal field, so it's models dot cal field. And then I'm gonna set the max length, so it's max length is equals to, let's say, 100 characters. And also we are going to do the same on bio. So it's models dot calfield, not aggregate dot cal, where's calfield dot calfield. Then I'm gonna also give it a max length of 100 characters. Then I'm gonna pass additional fields. One of those fields is, I think it's required field. I want to set a user field, username field. So the username, it's called, it's type, because it's username is equals to, what's that username? I want to customize, it's the email. So just pass email. And then what's the required field that I want to change? So I'm just gonna pass required fields. And then these required fields, in most cases, we pass them as a list. But in this case, I only want the username. So I'm just gonna pass a list, and then the required field I'm gonna pass is the username, like that. And then I'm gonna pass a string to define what I want to return, what I want to show on the admin. So what I'm gonna pass is define underscore underscore string underscore underscore bracket, let's say self. Then I'm gonna return self dot, I want to show the username. This is what I'm gonna show on the admin. I'm gonna show you this when we run the server. It's not big of a deal. Now when that is done, the next thing we are going to do is, I think everything is correct. So now the next thing we are going to do is to make migration. So to do this, now there was an error I saw when I made migration. When I still have my current database, the one we migrated, it's kind of creating an error. So just allow me to kind of delete it and then recreate the model again and see what it brings to us. So I'm just gonna go to my project, and then I'm gonna go to my DB. Then I'm gonna delete the current DB I have, just delete it. Yeah, it's moved to trash. Then I'm gonna look for migrations that I have made on these other apps. I just want also to delete those migrations and make other migrations. I think that's it. I don't know whether I should have deleted the other one. But no problem. I think it's supposed to be good. And then I'm gonna make migrations again. So it's python manage.py. Let's make migration. So it's make migrations, make migrations. We have an error. Did you mean OS settings.py user auth? Let's go to where the file is, setting.py. Oh, I made an error over here. Sorry for that. It's good now. This is the error I was avoiding. Let's see. Python then shows auth.user.group. it assumes you are getting an error. I think it's saying auth.user.group field reverse accessor blah blah blah. We are getting this error because we haven't specified which app and which model we are going to use to load this user. So the way I saw the way you're going to solve this is by adding it's by specifying, by telling our project which model to use to load the user. So just navigate to your settings.py, then below a Django Jasmine configuration, just type this. We say auth user model. The model we want to use is user auth dot user auth dot model user auth no not dot model dot user. We don't want to call the name model again, but it's supposed to be like this. User auth dot which model do you want to use? You want to use the user model, like that. Then if we run our migration again, let's hope it doesn't bring an error. No change detected. It's good. So let's just migrate. You can see now migrations have been applied. Migrations have been applied. Let's see. Our DB has been created. If you go to a user auth, I'm not sure whether. Okay. Okay. I'm going to make another migration because I don't think it has made. Let's make migration for user auth app. Yes, I noticed they're not being created. Let's migrate. Let's specify the app user auth. It's raising an error. Uh, uh, I just hope it runs. Okay, I don't know whether it's we run or we get an error, but let's test it and see whether it runs. Python manage.py run server. You have one an applied migration. Let's redo this again. So I'm just gonna show e-commerce shows we don't have migrations over there. User auth. I'm just gonna delete this migration. Let me see. Yes. Let's just leave it and then let's delete the DB like that. Yeah, also this, I think I'm just gonna delete it. Let's delete it and see how it behaves. So I'm just gonna make migrations one more time. It's still not recognizing the app. Make migrations, let's say shoes. I'm gonna do this manually. Make migrations, user auth. Migrations have been made. Then let's migrate. Migrations have been applied. Very good. So now let's run our server. Now the migrations have been applied very well. So now let's see the kind of fields that okay, now that's good. Now, since we deleted our migrations, the next thing we're going to do is to create our super user again. So it's python manage.py create super user. You can see this time now you're being prompted to enter an email. Let's say shoestores@gmail.com. Then username, we can say shoes, shoe stores, shoes. You can type whatever username you want, and email shoe stores gmail shoes. Then password, just type your password. Everything looks okay. Let's run our server again. Now if you go to admin, you can see now we're being prompted to enter an email rather than a username. So we're just gonna say pass our email. Shoes, what was our email? It was shoes stores at gmail.com, and then we pass our password. And everything looks good. Now if you notice something, we don't have the model we created user. That's because we haven't added that model to our admin. So we are going back to our code and go back to the user auth admin to add our model. So here we are going to import the models. So from user auth dot models, I want to import user. Then I want to register that user. So it's admin dot site dot register the person the model I want to register is user, like that. Let's refresh our dashboard. You can see our model has been registered. Now if we go to our users, you can see the users, what is being displayed is the username. Now, and this is because of this part of code where we said return self.username. If we wanted to return the email, so it would be self.email. Let's refresh and see. You see, self.email, it's the email now which is being returned. Now we click on this user. Now you can see on the user, we can have the username, the email, the username, and the bio. You can pass anything you want to the bio, like I am the system administrator. I am the system administrator. Administrator. You can pass anything you want. This would help differentiate knowing what kind of a user you're dealing with. You can also add additional fields there, but for now I don't see the need of doing that. Also, we can also customize what we choose to display. Like I can want to display the username, email, and also the bio of that user. I think it would be easier to know what kind of a user you're dealing with. So we are going to do that. To do this customization, just go to the admin of the user auth, and we are going to create a class user admin, and then from admin, so it's admin dot, I'm gonna import model admin, and then I'm gonna use list display. What do I want to display? In this case, I want to display the username, so it's a list, so it's the username, then the email, then the bio of that user. We have an error here, okay, like that. So let's display, we want to display the username, the email, and the bio. Let's refresh. uh-huh. Let's go to users. It's still not, oh, we haven't added our class to admin, so let's just add the class here. It's user admin, like that. Let's refresh one more time. You see, now everything is being displayed correctly. Now we can see the username of that user, the email they used to register this account, and their role in this account. I can see this user is the system administrator. I think this is easier than just enabling the user to just log in using a username. I think you can also track the email of that user, and it's also very easy to know to manage like the login process based on the email rather than the username. That's it for this video. Thank you. See you on the next video.